A very beautiful afternoon here. Hi everyone. This me here seated on the grass in the afternoon all alone, and it's so therapeutic to be able to sit in your own thoughts and need nothing in that moment at all. And number talks about how most people are very uncomfortable in silence alone. It makes them so uncomfortable and so vulnerable to the point where they just avoid it altogether. I've never understood how that works, honestly. I honestly don't relate to that because I feel there's so much power and stillness in sitting alone. There's clarity that comes in that, the comfort, the relaxation. I mean, it's just insane. And it's very unfortunate that most people will never experience it because they cannot sit with themselves in quiet. I mean, they cannot sit with themselves for more than a couple of minutes with no stimulus around them. Working in a hospital makes me value solitude. Seeing people who can't even move reminds me how powerful it is to simply walk, breathe, and enjoy nature. Those quiet moments alone, they really matter more than we realize. And today I'm reading a very small book written by a Kenyan writer called Jackson Biko. It's about 200 pages. At the beginning of his books, Biko always leaves a short note to the reader, basically letting you know that what you're about to read is personal.
Nilikuwa nishakula asubuhi. Unaona vile niliamka. Kulikuwa na kandizi hapo. Chukua hii. Chukua hivi. Naenda kama niko smart.
The title of the book is Let Me Call You Back, and the lead character is a man called Samora who falls out of work and maintains this fiction of pretending to be working. This is me doing my evening walk. It is a routine. And so Samora, after being laid off, he doesn't tell his wife. Perhaps someone will ask why he didn't tell his wife. And the truth is, there is a lot of deep shame that comes with losing a job or loss in general. Here he says, my marriage started with a lie. But doesn't life start with a lie anyway? When people gather around a newborn and whisper the biggest untruth, he is so beautiful. He isn't. He's bruised in the nose, his cheeks look like undercooked meat, and his eyes are swollen. His lips are as pink as an alcoholic. Some come out with heads that resemble cones. Sharp at the end, something you can use to split a coconut. Their skin peels off like an animal emerging from hibernation. But we lie. We lie because who wants to tell someone who has endured 10 hours of labor or has been gutted in the midsection and a whole baby pulled out of them the truth? That's not a person who deserves the truth. However, I didn't lie to my wife because she had given birth. The writing style is exquisite, very good, and the sprinkles of humor in it is top notch. So, as I was saying, there's a deep sense of failure that comes with losing something, be it a job, a marriage, or whatever. I lied to my wife, then girlfriend, because she was from a higher social status than I was. I don't want to give the impression that she isn't now. She still is, even though my own social status has greatly improved. She grew up in a sprawling residence in Spring Valley that runs down a river below. The house belonged to imperialists. Her father was gifted the house and much more for reasons that nobody wants to say out loud. And here Samora lied because the gap in social status scared him. She came from more and he thought the truth would cost him the marriage. And you see at the end, Samora's story isn't just about a lie. It's about how insecurity can push people to betray the truth, even with the people they love most. Trusting. And my favorite line from the book is when he says, all of humanity's problems come in from man's inability to sit quietly in a room alone. I, on the other hand, grew up in a valley, a small maize farming village in Rift Valley with red winding roads meandering like worrisome varicose veins. See, if Samora had accepted himself first, he wouldn't have needed to lie. When you own your story, no one can use it against you. That's a fact. And so after being laid off and pretending to be working. Samora eventually ran out of money and he starts borrowing money from his friends. And when the friend starts demanding back their money, he avoids their calls, pretends to be busy, keeps promising to call them back. Hence the title of the book, Let Me Call You Back. And he lost his marriage.